Get a chance to catch up with Coach Kaleb Nobles heading into a road game on the road at North Greenville this week. And Coach, this seems to be a team in North Greenville that it doesn't matter what their record is, that we always get their best shot.
No, absolutely. And that's the same way with everybody in the conference. But Coach Farrington's an unbelievable coach. He's been doing it for a long time, and he knows what it takes to get that team motivated. And they're a resilient bunch. They've always given us a great game and been tough to beat. They've been a really good team in this conference for a long time, and we got to show up and play with our A game, and our guys know that. We got to be ready to go Saturday night.
Last year they come in here up in our field and really gave us a battle coming off Delta and an overtime loss the week before, and it was the emergence of a quarterback, a new guy for them, Dylan Ramirez, and he has kind of grown and progressed from there, and he's a good football player.
Yeah, he's a very good football player. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, and somebody we got to train him up and keep him in the pocket, but get some pressure on him and get him moving off his spot a little bit and create a little chaos, because if you can get him moving a little bit, that'll mess with him a little bit. But and he's a really good player.
They lost on road at Valdosta last week. What do you take away from the game film as you kind of look and break down their early performances in the season?
Yeah, I mean, you see we got 4 games of film on them right now, and obviously our game from last year. But they're a really athletic bunch. They got some big linemen on both sides of the ball that can create some movement on the line of scrimmage. So we got to do a good job of really moving, creating some movement of our own. Make sure we're moving the line of scrimmage, but also keeping everything in front of us, being great tacklers, and then taking what they give us in the pass game.
That said, it's about what you do, not what they do.
Of course.
Some of the time,
Always is.
Coming into this week, I mean, this is the 5th game of the season. It's kind of injury-wise and some other things. I mean, guys are banged up. It's the way it goes. Pee-wee, coming off a great week last week, keeping that momentum rolling, what does he need to do?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's me keeping him in a rhythm, calling the plays that he likes, and doing what he functions well with. And I did try to do that last week. He got into a really good rhythm, going for 20 for 27. And just doing the same thing, really taking what they give us. There's going to be times we push the ball downfield, but there's also going to be times we take it underneath based on what the defense is doing. So we got to do a good job of just keeping him in that rhythm. You
have, had to make some moves on the offensive line, move some guys around. Congratulations to Oak Stipe, who told me he hadn't snapped the ball before, but goes out there and plays
center.
Did
a great job.
Having your tight ends, and I think that's an underlooked, position, obviously, here where we haven't thrown a lot to tight ends in the years past.
Of course.
But you're working on that.
Yeah.
But they're big bodies in Jake and Jackson to be able to help out that offensive line. They block well, and they got a physical presence.
Yeah, no, they're very capable. Those guys do a great job, and adding Carson Powers, to travel 3 guys is phenomenal, and they have that extra run threat. But also, they're pretty athletic. They can run with the best of them. We feel like we can do our 10 personnel, 11 personnel stuff, the same offensive play calls. So, proud of the O-line, how they played last week. Obviously, we got some moving musical chairs in there, but they've handled it well, and those guys have really answered the call.
Defensive side of the football for us, obviously that defensive line is wreaking havoc and creating pressure. And we talked about Dylan Ramirez. Is that going to be the key, is making him uncomfortable and trying to put him on the ground a couple times?
Yeah, no, that's the key with any good quarterback you play, and you got to make sure he's not comfortable and just standing back there delivering. He's a really good player, but our D-line has played well so far, and we got to keep those guys moving and really give our line some fits every week.
How satisfying is it as a coach to watch the defense force the turnover and then have your offense turn around and get points off of it? I mean, that's one of those stats that you hear at every level of football get bandied about, but boy, it changes the game.
No, it's huge. Anytime you can get points off a turnover and do it quickly is a game changer. And so that creates a little more momentum on the sideline too. The guys go nuts and enjoy that. And anytime you score off of it, I love that as an offensive play caller because we're just scoring. I don't have to call an offensive play. Ralph Ortiz goes and makes a pick 6. So just plays like that are awesome, and it really helps our sideline overall.
This trip up there, you guys are leaving on a Friday. It's a late game on Saturday, and then you come back right after. Kind of, how do you manage that Saturday time when you don't play till in the evening?
Yeah, I mean, you got to wake up, do a walkthrough, get them moving a little bit, and then give those guys a chance to get a little off their feet, relax, feed them a couple times. But then you got to be ready to go when the lights turn on at 7 o'clock, and we get there about 5-ish. So you're ready to play whenever that first whistle's blown.
Another GSC game coming. I know there's a watch party down at Seville. The alumni, a bunch of people come down there, love to watch their Argos play, so it'll be huge. So let's hit the road and come back with another victory.
Let's do it. That's the plan.
Let's get that done.
Thank you.
And as always,
go Argos.